Welcome back here to the What's Cooking program, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, and travel show. I'm Michael Horn. That is Paul Stern. Do you use sweetener at all, Paul Stern?
I certainly do. When I want to cut the calories, I click for the sweetener that has a little bit less on that caloric side than some of the, obviously, the regular stuff.
We have Jim May with us. Jim May is with Sweet Leaf. It's a Stevia, a sweetener. Jim, welcome to the broadcast.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be with you.
Can you explain for us, and it's great to have you here, what is the difference between sweeteners? Because we've heard about all these different sweeteners, saccharin and, whatever, Splenda and all that. What's the difference between all these?
Well, of course, those that you've mentioned, Splenda, saccharin, NutraSweet, Equal, aspartame, they're all artificial sweeteners. They're chemicals. They're really made of various chemicals that happen to have a sweet taste profile.
Are they all made with, like, aspartame? Is that what it is?
No, aspartame is NutraSweet and Equal.
So NutraSweet and Equal are aspartame. What is, like, Sweet and Low?
That's a saccharin or cyclamate.
A saccharin. Okay, that's right. So there's saccharin's another one.
Yeah, and then Splenda is sucralose.
So Splenda is sucralose. Now, I heard that was made from sugar, but it's not. It's still, no, huh?
No, it's not. Well, they say they start with sugar, and I suppose that's technically true. Basically, what they do is they break sugar down to its molecular structure. They then bind each molecule of sugar with 3 molecules of chlorine. This is their own published information. So you basically have 3 times the chlorine as you do sugar in Splenda or sucralose.
Good for your teeth, probably. Okay, but anyway, so now what is Stevia?
But not for the body.
But yeah, Stevia, S-T-E-V-I-A. What is this? What is this sweetener when it says Stevia? That's what Sweet Leaf is.
Yes, Sweet Leaf is Stevia. We were the very first one. In fact, I'm the first person to bring Stevia to America 28 years ago.
Wow.
Stevia is a plant that was originally found in the rainforest of Paraguay. The Guarani Indian natives have used it for at least 2,000 years.
Wow.
The Japanese discovered it shortly following World War II and went to Paraguay, learned how to grow it and as much as they could. They then went to Japan with the plants, began growing them, did the research, did extensive studies. The Japanese Ministry of Health approved it as a sweetener, and it became the most prevalent sweetener in Japan. In fact, by 1982, when I first learned of Stevia and brought it to America, Stevia extract, that's the sweet glycosides that are extracted from the leaf, and I'll explain that. It had a 40% market share in Japan.
Wow, 40%. So this is actual, when we get the Sweet Leaf, the name is Sweet Leaf is the brand name, right? Stevia sweetener. Correct. It is 100% Stevia, and this is all natural because it's from a plant?
Well, the Sweet Leaf tabletop sweetener, now we have 100% Stevia extract that we sell to food and beverage companies. The tabletop sweetener would be 300 times sweeter than sugar, so we have to blend it with something else. So we use inulin as our carrier. Otherwise, it would be so sweet you could not eat it.
What is the inulin? What is that?
Inulin exists in all fruits and vegetables. We eat it every day. It's a natural soluble fiber that is a prebiotic. That is, it is one of the primary food supplies for the good intestinal bacteria. We don't digest it, but they require it to be healthy and to thrive. And of course, those bacteria provide 70% of your immune function.
Wow.
So when you're using Sweet Leaf, you get this wonderful sweet taste, but you're nourishing those good bacteria, which then improve your health and well-being.
Sounds like a nice alternative to some of the other sweeteners that are out there. How available is it? Is it available in restaurants and coffee shops, or is it something that you need to pick up in the stores?
In various restaurants. Some of the upper-end restaurants have it. We, of course, have it in nearly all natural food stores and most of the Kroger stores, all of the chains owned by Kroger. It's we're slowly getting it into the major chains nationwide.
Is it better for you than sugar?
Oh, yes. Yes, sweet leaf stevia has 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 glycemic index. It is I would suggest it's the only sweetener that diabetics or people with obesity problems ought to be using.
So is it getting into more food products now? Are people starting to use the sweet leaf sweetener instead? Does it say if you buy some, is it sweetened with sweet leaf or stevia?
It's beginning to, yes.
Well, this is a long. Well, what's taken so long to get this out there? You said you brought this in 18 years ago or something. How come it's taken so long to get?
28 years ago.
28 years ago, Jim May. How come it's taken so long?
Well, because when I first brought it in, the drug company that had developed aspartame to be a prescription-only drug, and then fought to get it approved as a sweetener because it had a sweet taste. They found out, in fact, Donald Rumsfeld at the time was the president of the company. He found out that I had brought stevia to America. He knew what had happened in Japan. He sent his entire staff of lawyers to the FDA in Bethesda, Maryland, demanding that they stop me and stevia from coming into the United States.
Donald Rumsfeld, you got to watch that guy. He is the guy. He was the aspartame guy. You're right. He's the president of the company. Where can we get more information on Sweet Leaf Tabletop Sweetener, Jim May?
Well, our website, www.sweetleaf.com.
Sweet Leaf. And did you send some in? We want to take a taste test.
I don't know if we did or not.
I don't think you did. Send it in, and Paul and I will taste it and check. I'm trying to check it out. Yeah, sounds great.
We'll
sounds
send
like
you some of our. We also have liquids that are just incredibly delicious.
All right, Jim May. Sweetleaf.com, all one word. Check it out. Thank you, Jim May, for being with us. That's the stevia sweetener, Sweet Leaf.